This video is going to specifically look at, for me, if I was to go back in time and I was doing my research and trying to figure out clinical psychology programs, what I would specifically focus on, which is hopefully something that could be helpful for you as you are trying to figure out what schools and what programs to go into. What is up, fam? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Phil Sarpal and this is Phil's Guide to PsyD. This channel is dedicated to all things psychology, wellness, and graduate school. Today we're going to be talking about what I would look for if I was a student looking into starting a clinical psychology program. A lot of you guys are trying to get ready and prepared for clinical psychology applications. You're looking at clinical psychology programs, whether PhD or PsyD. Now keep in mind, at the end of the day, what program you choose is going to be really specific and dependent on what your interests are, what your goals are, what you want in terms of the population that you want to work with. If you want to do neuropsychology or health psychology or school psychology or child psychology, right? Like, you're going to probably try and find the best programs for that specific specialty. But the advice that I'm going to give you guys and the tips that I'm going to give you guys is going to be way so more general, regardless of what you are interested in and what you are specifically wanting to go into. So the first thing that I would really pay attention to if I was trying to choose a good clinical psychology program to go into is going to be accreditation. All right, now accreditation is really, really important. I've mentioned this to a lot of you guys that accreditation is going to be the thing that is going to ultimately help you to get to your end goal, right? If you want to be a clinical psychologist, if you want to go into getting an internship or a postdoc, going to a school that is accredited, nationally accredited, is going to be in your best interest because, first of all, they're going to help you get into your practicum sites, your clinical sites. They're going to help you get those experiences. They're going to help you get ready for an internship. They're going to help you get ready for a postdoc. It's going to look really good on your resume. A lot of jobs don't even look at applicants who do not come from accredited programs. So it just makes it a whole lot easier when you're choosing practicum and clinical sites, when you're choosing internships in the future, when you're choosing postdocs, when you're trying to become board certified in neuropsychology or clinical psychology. It makes it so much easier if you go to a program that is already accredited. So that is probably the number one thing that I would look at when I'm looking at programs. The other thing, number two, is going to be faculty, right? So research the faculty members who are in those programs. Google them online, see what you come up with, what have they contributed to the field, what have they done in their own research, papers, journal articles. If you can, maybe even email them and ask them different questions, right? Like, there's a lot of different things that I think is really important, is that whenever you go into a clinical psychology program and you vibe well with the faculty members and you are matched well with a research director or a faculty member, it does make your life a whole lot easier because your interests do align and you guys hopefully will get along in terms of personality and all those different things. And so I think faculty members is really important. Now, the third thing, of course, is tuition, right? Like, you want to go to a school that's not crazy expensive, but at the same time, no matter what program you go into, you're probably going to be dealing with maybe some type of level of student loan debt. So that may be an inescapable fact. But at the end of the day, there are some programs, especially if it's APA accredited and it has really good faculty members, hey, you can choose whatever program has less tuition. I mean, it's just going to make your life a lot easier when you have to pay back those student loans. So definitely take that into consideration, right? If you choose a program that is closer to you in terms of where you're living, you don't have to commute as long, you get to save more money on rent, all of those other different things. All of those things add up, from year 1 to year 2, all the way to year 6. If you're able to add up or save up money on rent or from travel or commute or gas or whatever it is, that's great. That puts yourself in a really good position in order to not only start making money, but also pay off those student loan debts. So I would really consider tuition as something that you should weigh in terms of what program you should choose. The fourth thing is going to be practicum experiences. Now, every program is going to be able to connect their students to different various clinical rotations. Usually when you get into the program, you're going to have to put in applications to try and get, those neuropsychology sites or those child psychology sites or those school psychology sites or whatever it is. And if you can look into the school and ask them about practicum experiences that they give their students, usually they'll provide a list of all of the places that they have contracts with in terms of where their students have been in those practicum sites before in the past. And you can look up online, search those places, the hospitals, the private practices, wherever those places are, and see if you think they're going to be a good site. If you feel like they have really good reviews or really amazing clinicians, like that's great. Tracks. So some schools, a lot of schools are going to have various different types of tracks. Trauma track, child track, neuropsychology, health psychology, whatever it is. And so based on what your interests are, this is going back to the first thing that I mentioned, based on what your interests are, this should hopefully guide you in the right direction of choosing the school that you want to go into. Now, along with that, a couple things that I want to mention is that when you go into the school's website and you are looking at all of their information, they should have some information about the percentage of people in their cohorts that matched to internship. Really take a fine look at that. You want to make sure that the schools that you're applying to are basically coming through on their promises and helping their students get matched to internships. Nobody wants to take a whole nother extra year of graduate school because they didn't match the first time or they didn't match the second time. And so every school should have an information center where they provide those details, where you can see the percentage of people that matched to whatever site that they applied to. That's really, really important. The other thing is the attrition rate. And the attrition rate is basically whenever you start your first year, your cohort members, sometimes there are going to be some students that weed out of the program. Now, the school is not intentionally trying to weed anybody out. This isn't like undergrad. But there are going to be various reasons why people quit or stop the program, whether it's related to health or family or whatever it is, right? Maybe they change of heart, they don't want to be a clinical psychologist anymore. The school should have an attrition rate in terms of the percentage of people that started the program and the number of people that ended up with the degree, right? So if you started with 15, but there's only 8 people that got the degree, that means there's 7 people that left the program for various related reasons. And that could be a small sign, it could be a big sign, it could be a small sign of just that, people just left for whatever reason. Or it could be a big sign of like, wow, is this a trend, right? Are there multiple cohorts that have had several people leave? And if they're leaving, why are they leaving? Are they leaving because of faculty members? Are they leaving because of the school? Are they leaving because of, what are they leaving for, right? And this is probably where you could probably try and see if you can reach out to students who are in that program and ask them different questions about the program. And tell them to give it to you straight, right? Because you want to know what you're getting yourself into. All right, the other thing is maybe not as important, but is the size of the cohort. The bigger the cohort size, if there's 50 to 100 people, it gets really, really difficult to really try and get some one-on-one time with faculty members. And so usually cohorts that are a lot smaller have way more intimacy. You're closer with your cohort members. You're also closer with your faculty. You can get help one-on-one as many times as you need to. You really don't want to be just another number. You want to be a student that can get the attention and all the resources that you need while you're in that program. Last 2 things is that look into the vision statement of the school. Do they represent helping underrepresented groups? What is it about them that makes them them? And see if you can really get into that. And maybe hopefully that aligns with your own vision as well. With that, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below if you have any questions. But with that, I will see you guys in the next video.